some stuff. So the first ground rule is please make sure all of you guys keep your mic off at all times. We don't want to add any unnecessary interruptions or anything, so it'll also help the meeting run a lot smoother. So make sure you guys do that. Secondly, please make sure your cameras are on. We want to interact with all of you guys and get to know every one of you. So it'd be really easy to do that if you guys had your cameras on. And if you guys have any problems with your camera or like you can't turn it on, that's completely fine. It's okay. And our last rule is please make sure you guys are respectful. As you guys heard just a few moments ago, this meeting is being recorded. So everything that you guys say or do will be recorded. And also being respectful is just a good thing to do. Yeah, and while we're waiting for other people to join in, please take a couple of minutes to go to this tiny URL on our screen right now and fill out some basic information about yourself. So if you guys want a lanyard, in the last question in this sign-in form has your address, is requesting your address. And that's completely optional. If you guys don't want to do that or put that in, that's completely fine. So yeah. So please go ahead and do that right now.
I pasted the link in chat. I will put it again for those of you who just joined.
And also just a quick note, if you guys have any questions, please save them to the end. We'll have a Q&A session. If your question is like really burning, then go ahead and ask it in the chat and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
All right, once you guys are done with the tiny URL or like the sign-in form, just give us a thumbs up reaction. Oh yeah, and also guys, we said that this meeting was an hour and 30 minutes long, but it's probably going to be much less than that. So if you guys have any other stuff to be doing, we totally understand. We'll try to keep this meeting as short as possible. We just reserved the 1 hour, 30 minutes time slot in case people had questions. So a couple of you guys were worried about that. We just want to like let you guys know, so it won't be too long. Yeah, once again, give us a thumbs up reaction once you guys are done with the sign-in form.
If you can please put this thumbs up reaction on the participants window so it doesn't go away. Just click participants and then just either put a green yes or go to more and put a thumbs up.
Yeah, and now while we're waiting for the last couple of people to like fill in the sign-in form, for the rest of you guys, how was you guys' first week at school? You guys can go ahead and message any of the officers in the chat and let us know how you guys did on this first week of school.
Does anyone have O'Connor?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, how about we do this? Do a reaction if you're a freshman. Like put like a little thumbs up. You can see. Oh, we got quite a few.
Yeah, all right, guys. It's been like 5 or so minutes. So if you guys haven't filled out the form, that's completely okay. We'll give you guys some time to do it at the end as well. Now let's move on to the next slide.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. So we're going to be doing a quick introduction activity. I don't know if you guys have heard of Slido or not, but here it is. Let's stop this. If you have a phone or a laptop or any electronic device, please open up slido.com and enter the following code L089. Again, the website is slido.com and the code is L089. I'll give you a couple seconds to get on there. And in case you're wondering, Slido is a website for interactive polls, so we'll be going through a few quick questions, and you can see the results live as the questions play out. And just again, for anyone new that joined or couldn't hear me, please open up the following website on your phone or laptop, slido.com, and enter in the code L089. Again, the website slido.com and the code is L089. Okay, so as soon as I begin, there should be questions opening up on your phone, and you just answer them and it should show the results on the screen. Let's begin. So the first question is, what is your grade for the upcoming school year? And yeah, this is where it's really cool. So as you can see, when people enter in their answers, it updates it live. And from what it seems like, we are very underclassmen heavy, which is great. A lot of 9th graders, a ton of 10th graders, and then a few 11th and 12th graders. Okay, that seems good. So on the top right over here, it says 65 people have answered the poll. So 35% of us are in 10th grade, 31% are in 9th grade, 22 in 11th, and 12 in 12th. Okay, next question. Are you taking a CTE course this year, or have you already taken a CTE? And we also have an option for I don't know what a CTE is. And if you don't know, that's completely fine. We'll actually be talking about CTEs in our presentation. It can be a little bit confusing. Okay, this is interesting. So around half of us haven't taken a CTE, and 37% of us meet the CTE requirement. For the people who are saying, I don't know what a CTE is, most likely they haven't taken a CTE course. CTEs are very limited at Irvington. "64 people have responded. I think there's one more person, so we can move on. And the final question. So is this your first year joining FBLA? Okay, this is awesome. So far, the majority of members in this meeting are saying yes, so that is great. We like seeing new faces, and especially at the intro meeting. I'm telling you, all of us are looking forward to having you in this club. Okay, that's great. So it seems like 3/4 of our club is going to be new this year, and 1/4 is going to be existing members, assuming everybody here goes and registers, of course. So yeah, that's the end of our interactive activity. Now we'll be getting into FBLA, so the slide should be opening up. First of all, we will be introducing the officer team. Next slide, please. So hello, you guys have already seen me. My name is Rishabh Agarwal. I'll be serving as one of your presidents this year. A fun fact about me is that I enjoy biking with my friends. I'm also into photography. And even though we're starting off this year virtually, I'm extremely excited to be working with each and every one of you this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Samuk Suresh and I am the other FBLA co-president. For those of you guys who don't know me well, I love to play Call of Duty or COD and poker with my friends, and in my free time, I love biking, hiking, or just watching random TV shows on Netflix. I am so excited to meet all of you guys, even if it's virtually, and I can't wait for this upcoming competitive school year. Let's move on to the next person.
Yeah, hi guys, my name is Sanjana Machuri and I'll be your Vice President of Logistics this year. A fun fact about me is that I'm a people's person. I love meeting new people. So feel free to reach out to me whenever if you guys need help on math homework. Actually, don't reach out to me for math homework, but if you guys need help on anything else, reach out to me. I'm excited to get to know you guys this upcoming year.
Yeah, cool. Hi everyone, my name is Harsha Gandala. I'm your Vice President of Development this year. Some fun facts about me are I like the color orange, I like eating cereal basically any time of day, and I like to bike with my friends. And I'm also going to introduce our amazing club advisor for this year, Mr. Domingo.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Bui. I'm one of the director of competitions. Some fun facts about me is that I'm an architect INTJ personality type, and I love board games. I love learning, so if you have any questions, academic questions, or anything, you can ask me. And I'm very thrilled to be working with the extraordinary people this year.
Hi everyone, I'm Dhruv Bansal. I'll be your other director of competition this year. And I actually have two devices here, so if you want to see what I look like in person, just find my other device. Nice to meet you all.
Hi everyone, my name is Ojas Brahme, the Director of Projects this year. Some fun facts about me is that I like photography, I like going biking, I also love swimming. And I hope to work with you all this year. It'll be really fun, especially with the new program of Loop that was introduced last year, but we'll be expanding on it a lot more this year, so yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Hema Chetty and I'll be your secretary this year. This is my second year of FBLA, and a fun fact about me is that I love baking and collecting stationery. I'm excited to meet all of you this year.
Hey, I'm Neha Suresh and I'm excited to serve as the Director of Outreach for this year. Something interesting about me is that I've been in FBLA since 7th grade. I'm eager to see what we can achieve together this year, and feel free to ask me any questions.
Hi everyone, my name is Sayash and I will be your Director of PR for this year. This will be my second year with FBLA, and FBLA holds so many memories, and I cannot wait to see what this year has to offer.
Hey guys, I'm Anvi Koval and I'm your treasurer for this year. Some fun facts about me: I like to bake and I like to bike in my free time. And I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you guys.
All right, let's start off with what is FBLA, or Future Business Leaders of America. Next slide, please.
Yeah, so FBLA stands for Future Business Leaders of America, and many of you guys probably already knew that, but what exactly does FBLA offer? By joining FBLA, you're essentially joining the world's largest student business organization in the world. Through FBLA, you can join 250,000 plus students training for business-related careers, STEM-related careers, and much more, including business, IT, finance, marketing, entrepreneurship, just to name a few. You can combine your interests and passions with this club that offers much more. You can experience unique opportunities such as leadership, workshops, learning opportunities, and more. Some of FBLA's main goals include developing competent, aggressive business leadership, strengthening the confidence of students in themselves and their work, and creating more interest in and understanding of the American business enterprise. So who are we? Irvington FBLA is relatively young, but we've still been able to achieve quite a lot so far. Irvington FBLA is only 6 years old, and in these 6 fruitful years, we've become the 9th most decorated chapter as of 2018, We've become the fastest growing chapter in California. We've won 15 plus national top 10 titles and 8 plus state champion titles. And we're excited to see how much more we can achieve together this year.
So what exactly will you gain through FBLA? Through FBLA, you will not only develop an important career skills, but also have an opportunity to flourish in a competitive atmosphere. Throughout the various conferences and workshops, as well as events, you can learn more about the professional business world. You'll also get the opportunity to meet many new and amazing people and have the chance to compete in a few of 70 plus events to win money and awards for prizes. In a variety of event choices that allows members to learn more about their desired careers while getting a chance to showcase their hours of hard work and dedication in their competitive events.
All right, so what is CTE? I'm sure all of you have heard about this question before at some point. If you wanted to compete in some competitive FBLA events, then you have to have something called a CTE, or a Career Technical Education course. So basically these courses are to help you prepare for a job certification at a technical school. They're provided at the Irvington campus by the NVROP Center. So if you go onto the Irvington website and go under the course registry, there's a section called on-campus ROP courses, and on the slide are all of the CTE classes that FBLA accepts. So if you have any of these classes right now, you can competitively compete in FBLA, but no worries if you don't have a CTE class, because Harsha will be introducing what we are doing something new this year.
Yeah, so this year at Irvington FBLA is consolidating all of our club offerings into 2 distinct pathways to help develop your business skills, whether or not you have taken or are taking one of those CTE classes Sanjana just went over. For everyone that did take a required CTE class, you guys will be joining our CTE division. You guys will have the opportunity to compete in competitions with other FBLA clubs from around the nation. If you guys had any older siblings who were FBLA members in the past or heard people talking about FBLA conferences, these were the events that they were talking about. You have the opportunity to pick 1 or 2 subjects that you are truly passionate about, and you can become experts in your chosen fields and advance from the regional to state to all the way up to the National Leadership Conference. But for all of the people without a CTE class, we've got you covered too. This year, we have a completely redesigned Loop program to provide more enriching and immersive business experiences, starting with our all-new dedicated Loop curriculum. We're also very excited that this year Loop members can also compete in other non-FBLA entrepreneurship competitions, and we'll talk more about this in a bit. Although these 2 divisions may seem super varied in what they offer, everything that makes Irvington FBLA the club we are will be retained and shared between both of them. From our speaker events to Minicon and any other school-wide competitions we host, and even our chapter bonding activities, which we have a couple of really cool ideas we want to try this year to stay together even though we're physically apart. All of these activities will be available to anyone. So regardless of what division you're in, you'll still find what we're known best at Irvington, providing you with a group of people, a family that you can depend on and learn from. And now I'm going to hand it over to Drew to go over these divisions a little more thoroughly.
Yeah, thank you, Harsha. So there are, so as we said, there are going to be 2 different divisions in FBLA this year. So there's going to be the FBLA CTE division, which will have access to our marketing campaign that we will hold in the first semester. And they'll also gain access to our competitive events, base section, states, and nationals. And the FBLA Loop will have access to our Conrad Challenge, Diamond Challenge, and NYU Stern Challenge, which will also take place in first semester. Whereas both groups will have access to our stock market game, which will run for most of the year, have access to Minicon in first semester, have access to chapter projects, which occur around between first and second semester, like right at the end of first semester and throughout the beginning of second semester. And they will also have access to our local business connections challenge, which will happen at the end of the year this year.
All right, now let's dive into the FBLA with a CTE, or the FBLA CTE division. Next slide, please. Let's talk about a couple of conferences that FBLA CTE members will be able to participate in. The first of these competitions is Minicon. Oh, sorry, let me just clarify. Minicon is for both CTE and non-CTE members. So yeah, so Minicon is the first of the 4 conferences that we'll be talking about. This is Irvington's mock business conference. So we at Irvington host this competition for Irvington students and students all over FUSD and the Bay Area. As I mentioned before, this is open to both CTE and Loop members. So anyone that participates in FBLA in Irvington will be able to participate. Through Minicon, you'll be able to learn and apply a variety of business skills through objective tests, role plays, workshops, and interactive guest speaker events. And although this is not like a real tournament, this is an extremely good way for you guys to practice for the actual tournaments, Bay Section, States, and Nationals. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of amazing prizes that we'll be handing out to all the winners of the events. Next slide, please. Now let's talk about Bay Section. Last year, our Bay Section was held at Westmoor High School. I don't know if you guys caught that, but in the previous picture, that's where it was. So now let's talk about Bay Section. So Bay Section will be happening in early February and will most likely be online. The dates are yet to be confirmed, and we'll let all of you guys know with more information once we receive it from National FBLA. This is basically a regional competition with over 20 schools participating from all around the Bay Area. And this will be the first round of competitive events. What that means is that if you do really well in Bay Section, you'll be able to qualify for states and so on. And this conference is specifically open for all the CTE members. Next slide, please.
Hi, okay. So for those who have competed in FBLA before, we can unanimously agree that States has been the highlight of our high school experience. Imagine living in a hotel far away with your friends and without your parents for 4 days straight. That's pretty much States. And on top of competing and winning awards, which our chapter does a lot, we have a lot of fun exploring the city and goofing around in our hotel rooms. The picture shows our chapter at States from 2 years ago, which was at Sacramento, California. Next slide. So this coming year, again, as long as the pandemic settles down, States is going to be in Sacramento, California from April 22nd to 25th, which is 4 days. States has workshops, engaging keynote speakers, college business exhibitions, officer campaigns, and competitions. And the best part about States is it can help you qualify for NLC. Next slide, please. And while NLC is a very prestigious competition, NLC stands for National Leadership Conference, also known as Nationals. It's a very prestigious competition, but we do send a lot of students every year. Unlike States, Nationals is a week long, but it's just as fun, and it can happen anywhere in the country. In the picture, our chapter from 2 years ago is posing at San Antonio, Texas, where Nationals happened in 2019. Next slide, please. So as long as COVID permits, Nationals this year is going to happen in Anaheim, California. Over 13,000 students and advisors are going to be there. And this is not only from the United States, but from all over the world. We actually have quite a few countries competing in FBLA. So that means you'll get lots of networking opportunities. You'll get to see lots of interesting speakers. There'll be campaigns for officer positions. There'll be workshops and extremely large exhibitions. Next slide.
So I know you're all asking right now, how will online FBLA work? And next slide, please. So as for our online conferences, currently the structure and plans are to be announced. Like we stated earlier, it's if the pandemic doesn't settle down, it will be online. And if it does settle down, we will go in person. But that all depends on the scenario of how the pandemic curves and what will happen. So it'll likely be announced in 1 to 2 months and how everything's going to happen. But it's likely that if we go online, some events will be canceled and we will be doing online testing like NLC 2020. And for those of you who don't know what happened in NLC 2020, they opened up a time frame on their secure testing website, and we went and tested during that time, and then they announced the winner after everyone had tested. Next slide, please. So whereas conferences are uncertain, we do have a good, secure idea of how we're going to be doing our online meetings. We are going to be doing Zoom meetings after school. We will have once-a-week meetings for CTE and once-a-week meetings for Loop, and CTE members are more than welcome to join Loop meetings if they want to.
Okay, so onto our CTE curriculum overview. Next slide, please. So starting off with a quick overview of how FBLA events work. Competitive events such as tests, public speaking, or role plays all coordinate with a certain career cluster you choose. Some FBLA career clusters include marketing, finance, business law, etc. For instance, an accounting individual testing event would be categorized under the finance career cluster. Next slide, please. So we cover a few main topics that are based on FBLA's career clusters for a general understanding of FBLA competitive events. So first off, we have business administration. So if you're interested in managing day-to-day operations or organizational leadership, you'll gain some beneficial insight into our course, which covers performance management, operations management, etc., etc. Secondly, we have economics. So if you're interested in understanding how the world works and the relationship of money with the people, you may just like to learn more about microeconomics, macroeconomics, and so much more. Thirdly, we'll be introducing computer science concepts. So if you have a knack for problem solving or an interest in design, development, and analysis of software and hardware used to solve problems in a variety of business contexts, you'll surely enjoy this course, which will cover cybersecurity, internet protocols, and many more. Next slide, please. So marketing is the fourth topic we'll be introducing. So if you're a creative person or interested in studying people, marketing would be a fitting pathway for you. You'll gain much from learning about the marketing mix, target markets, buying motives, and plenty more. Business law is the fifth topic we're introducing. So if you're naturally inquisitive, decisive, and enjoy researching and understanding legal issues, business law may be the course you've been looking for. You'll get to learn about sources of business law, business ethics, and much more. The last but not least topic we will cover is human services. So if you like helping others improve their lives and want to enhance the quality of life in your communities, you'll have a great time learning about human resource planning, training and development, and many more. Our new curriculum is centered around helping you guys find your niche, preparing you for competitive events, as well as increasing social cohesion within the chapter. Unlike last year's, in addition to our informational lecture presentations, we will have engaging new Zoom-friendly icebreakers to strengthen chapter cohesiveness. In addition, we have placed practice testing sessions later in the semester for you to try your hands at a career cluster you may like. Instead of just testing preparations, we have also put together a presentation on role play tips and tricks that are useful for any of you to keep up your sleeves. Next slide, please.
Yeah, so now we'll talk about FBLA CTE events. Next slide, please. So the CTE marketing competitions. This competition is an opportunity to partner with local businesses and create a marketing plan that will actually be implemented in real life. This competition will happen sometime early in the year, and it will be open for CTE members only. But don't worry, because there's still plenty of other opportunities for non-CTE members as well.
Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to discuss what our LEAP program is, what we made different this year, and what you guys can expect to learn and do if you join. Again, this is a division for all of you guys that aren't taking a CTE class.
All right, so this is going to be the business plan project. And so one of the competitions that we plan to hold this year is the business plan project. It will be open to both CTE and Loop members. In short, in the business plan project, members will write a business plan regarding the announced topic. Business plans should follow the guidelines of the official FBLA event Business Financial Plan, which can be found on the FBLA PBL website under High School Competitive Events. Members can compete alone or in a group of up to 3. The prize will be a cash prize used to aid the progression of the idea. Last year, we had a cash prize of $600. The business plan project will take place near the end of the year, and we will release more details on it closer to the start of the competition.
Cool. In addition to these business plan competitions, Loop will specifically mentor and prepare you for several competitive and well-known business challenges. One of these is the Conrad Challenge. This contest is all about using science and technology to create a new idea. Through this experience, you guys can learn how to act on a problem with an effective solution and how to turn that resolution into a business and receive funding for that idea. And another nationally recognized entrepreneurship competition that you guys will face is the Diamond Challenge. Like the Conrad Challenge, this competition is all about devising a new and creative idea and growing it into a fully functional business. Both of these experiences teach important entrepreneurial skills like prototyping and effectively pitching your concept to investors and your future target audience.
Some other entrepreneurship competitions we'll be participating this year will be as follows. Next slide, please. Some of the competitions we will be taking this year will be the NYU Stern Challenge, the Berkeley Innovation Labs and Entrepreneurship Challenge, the Blue Oceans Challenge, the Virginia Tech Apex for Entrepreneurship Challenge, and the Utah Entrepreneurship Challenge. And there's many more that will be participating this year. Next slide, please. There's also going to be an SMG competition. Next slide, please. In this new year, we're having a brand new SMG competition that's for both FBLA CTE and for FBLA Loop, in which people can win cash prizes and cash credit. It can be utilized for membership and for using it for your business plan project. Next slide, please. There's also a new addition, which is the Loop curriculum. Next slide, please. This year, we're going to create a very streamlined process of how we're going to teach Loop concepts, and how to prepare for many of the entrepreneurship-oriented challenges that will be encompassed this year. So it will be having various pathways and will be dependent on what a person's goal is. And this will be elaborated in an upcoming Loop introduction meeting. Next slide, please.
So we have a point system set in FBLA where you can participate in a bunch of our club activities to get points and potentially get discounts on competitions or even earn FBLA merch. Next slide. Things like attending workshops and conferences, winning Loop competitions, and turning in homework and forms on time all help you earn points. Each activity has a different weighting for points. For example, winning competitions and going to conferences have higher points allocated for them, like 5 to 10 specifically, and then things like homework and going to workshops would be around 2 to 3 points. Additionally, the points are separated by CTE and Loop events, so there's a different set of top 3 members for each. Next slide. So along with gaining points, you can also lose points if you misbehave. We have a 3-strike system where if you break any rules, misbehave at FBLA events, or act in a disrespectful manner towards other members, you get a strike. 3 strikes and you're out of the club regardless of if you're an officer or a member. We use a system to hold everyone accountable for their actions, but you can always redeem yourself by gaining points through our other activities. Next slide, please. So the exciting part is that the more points you have, the more likely you are to get discounts. As your points accumulate, you get discounts on competition fees, where the person with the most points gets free rides to competitions, which is a pretty big deal, especially for all the parents paying. Additionally, second place gets 50% off, and third place is 25% off. Also, the higher points you have, the higher priority you get when you're picking your events for competitions, as it's usually first come, first serve. So make sure to get involved in all of our FBLA's events this year to gain as many points as possible.
All right, so far we talked about what FBLA is, our conferences, our competitive success, our new initiatives and plans for the future, but FBLA isn't solely about business. It's about our community too. Next slide. So FBLA is known to have a very tight-knit community, with FBLA alumni visiting us every year after year, even after their graduations, and showing up to our minicons and our guest speaker events. So if you're joining FBLA this year, you aren't just joining another business club, you're joining an entire community. So just keep that in mind.
All right, and finally, why join FBLA? By joining FBLA, you will receive access to new opportunities. You will develop new skills in a myriad of fields. You will have access to compete in 70+ events and participate in our chapter events. You will also have the opportunity to gain real-life experience. But what I feel really makes FBLA special is a family that we have here in Irvington. By joining us, you will realize what a positive and friendly group we are, all of us with similar interests who motivate each other to do better. Thank you all for attending, and make sure to join our Facebook group, fill out the join form, follow us on Instagram at Irvington FBLA for all updates. We are open to answering any questions you have right now, and please type all questions in the chat. And here's our Facebook group, our Instagram, and join form.
Yep. All right, guys. So before we move on, I just want to go over a couple of quick reminders. For now that you guys know a bit about FBLA, we'll be having our registration in the upcoming weeks. As you can see here, our membership form will be on ihsfbla.org/joinfbla. We'll give you guys more information about that in the upcoming days. And the deadline for registration will be on September 18th, or this for early registration. And as Suyash mentioned, you can feel free to check us out in both our Irvington FBLA, on our Facebook page, as well as our Instagram. So yeah, now let's move on to any questions any of you guys may have. If you guys want, please raise your hand. If you guys want to let us know any questions, or type it in the chat and we'll get to them.
Okay, so I have a question from, I'll not read the names out. So the question is, what's the difference between FBLA and DECA? So I've competed in both clubs. DECA is heavily marketing and pure business focused. FBLA has a wider range of events if you're interested. I think we listed out the events in the first few slides. There's stuff on finance, there's stuff on IT, there's stuff on administration of not only normal businesses, but stuff like hospitals. And there's a whole range of events you can actually check out and see for yourself. But I guess at the end of the day, they're both business organizations, so whatever you're interested in.
Another thing I want to say about the DECA FBLA differences. So DECA is more focused on presenting and public speaking and speaking in front of a judge, whereas FBLA is more focused on specific knowledge, and we test mainly in the earlier stages. It isn't until you actually reach the second round at states that you actually do any speaking in majority of FBLA events.
Yeah.
Michelle, Suyash, could you go to the slide right after CTE curriculum overview? I have a list of events there that they can just look at while we answer questions.
Yeah, also, I think this year with FBLA, Harsha was describing the entire loop curriculum, and that's something that is quite different from our previous years in FBLA and also from DECA, because DECA is more about the written events, the role plays and stuff, but we're more about the objective tests and also a more real life business approach to current businesses right now. So it is quite different from DECA in that way, but both of them do focus on business. If you are looking for less time intensive club, FBLA would probably be the move for you, but you do get the opportunity to get real life business connections and get all the exposure from all the different competitions that we have this year.
Yeah, and I don't want to diss DECA or anything, but FBLA is bigger on a national level, or actually international level. Let me scratch that. As we mentioned before, there's over 250,000 people that participate in FBLA, whereas there's only about 200,000 people that participate in DECA. So you can clearly get more recognized in FBLA if you do better. So that's another incentive for you guys to join.
That's true, that's true. Okay, so I got a question privately. Someone asked about what percentage of FBLA members will get to go to competitions, and also if the slides will be posted anywhere. So yes, we'll be posting the slides after this presentation, so you guys can refer back to them if you have any additional questions. And the percentage of FBLA members that get to go to competitions, so look, if you want to address that.
Yeah, sure. So for Minicon and base section, all the members that sign up will basically get a spot. You're almost guaranteed to get a spot. You will be going to base section and Minicon. And for states as well, if you compete and qualify in base section, you'll be able to go. And I think we also mentioned this before, but there's a lot of open events in states too. So if you're interested in that, you can also sign up and go. So I'd give a rough estimate of about nearly 100% for base section and Minicon, and about 90% or so for states. So a lot of people will get to go.
I just wanted to speak up more about this a bit. So FBLA events, I just wanted to inform you, have what's called a chapter limit. So we can only, so some of these events, any event that isn't open has a limit on how many people can go per chapter, how many teams. So I just wanted to inform everyone about that fact. So open events allow any number of competitors to go.
All right, yeah. And also I got another question. As someone said, will everyone that registers to join FBLA get in? And yes, everyone that registers to join FBLA will get in. So there's like no like other test or anything required to get in. If you register, you'll be able to get in. And there's another question: will we be able to freely choose our competitive event? I think Dhruv kind of went over this, but yeah, Dhruv, do you want to answer this again?
Yeah, so how it works is, first of all, there are open events in which anyone can go. And then there are the capped events. So capped events depend on our chapter size. So let's say we only have, these are not the actual numbers. I don't have the actual number off the top of my head, but hypothetically, let's say our chapter has 20 members. That mean we can only send one team per closed event. However, if we have 40 members, we might be able to send 3 teams. And it's like that. So basically, the more people you encourage to join FBLA, the more people we can send to these different competitions.
Yeah, and in addition, even if you guys don't get your first choice of events, as you can see here, there's over 70 plus events that we offer, and a lot of them are really similar. So we'll make sure you guys get into an event that you're really interested in at the end of the day. And yeah, I got another question. In the future, does CTE classes have to be taken in Irvington, or can we take it outside of school?
So can I take this one?
Yeah,
so
sure.
you only need to take the CTE one time. So let's say you take it in 9th grade, you're good for all 4 years of high school. You take it 10th grade, you're good for 10th, 11th, 12th, and like that. Basically, you can be enrolled with it at the same time as you're in the club, but once you've taken it, you don't need it again. And the FBLA's rule about CTE is that you need to have the CTE on your official school transcript. That means that the course must be taken at Irvington High School.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as Dhruv said, once again, make sure, like, no matter where you take it, it must be in, like, the transcript. And most of the time, they only put Irvington courses on there. So it's just better to be safer than sorry, so take it at Irvington. There's another question. So people who are doing loop won't be able to do a lot of events. Ojis or Harsha, do you guys want to take this one?
I can take this one. We'll be doing a lot of, we will have a wide variety of events, and because like each event has a cap per like team, per like location that's coming from, like we have like under a specific name, under like Irvington Loop, which is the organization, we're going to be sending in our participants to take those events. So there will be a handful of events so that at least everyone should take an event at least once. So there will be multiple teams that are going to different events, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of events for FBLA Loop, and that's the idea.
And just to like briefly add on to that, all the people that are participating in Loop will unfortunately not be able to participate in the events shown over here, because the national FBLA requires us to like make sure all the students have a CTE course on their transcript. However, don't let this discourage you. As O just mentioned, there are several different like other events that we have for Loop members specifically, such as the Conrad Challenge and all the other stuff that we mentioned in this slideshow. So you will definitely get a chance to like display your business skills, and it'll also prepare you for CTE FBLA in the future. So yeah, that's it.
These events that I listed before were very much Loop exclusive, so that you guys, all Loop kids, will get priority over CTE individuals.
Yep.
Rocky, I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly. You have a question?
Oh yeah, also guys, feel free to like say your questions out loud. You don't have to text them in the chat, but yeah.
Okay, by the time they're like asking the question, we got another question in. So is Intro to Engineering and Design a CTE course? Sanjana, can you confirm that?
It isn't. that was an accident. It was on the slide. Intro to Engineering and Design is the only MVROP course that isn't actually a CTE at our school. It is the only course that isn't recognized as CTE. Everything else on that slide is recognized.
Also, can you unmute? I think the participants aren't able to unmute themselves.
All right, participants can now unmute themselves.
Okay, I don't know if there's a problem. I think there's a problem with like unmuting, but if you guys want us to let you unmute, just raise your hand and we'll allow you guys to unmute.
Are there any membership fees? Yeah, there are membership fees associated with being a CTE member as well as a non-CTE member. So if you're in the Loop curriculum or the Loop division or the CTE division, some of you can go further into detail, but I don't think registration costs are going to be released much later.
Oh wait, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Are there membership fees?
Yeah. There are membership fees, but we'll get more, like we'll release more information about that, about like all the fees sometime soon. So yeah, just keep a lookout for that.
I think
Yeah, we are currently still calculating the breakdowns for all the different competitions for Loop and CTE.
Yeah, I think for now there's a sign up form for registering, so you can use that for now, but registration costs will come later on.
All right, so Maragi, do you still have a question?
No, I don't. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so somebody asked me, I took a CTE course last year. Do I need to take it again this year to be able to compete? And the answer is no. Once you take a CTE in high school, you're clear for the rest of your high school. So you don't have to take it more than once.
All right, guys. Yeah. Once again, before everyone heads out, please make sure you guys fill out this FBLA sign-in form if you guys haven't done so already. And if you guys have questions, make sure you guys stick around and you can feel free to ask us anything that you guys have like doubts about. And if not, you guys can feel free to head out. Thank you all so much for participating in today's intro meeting, and we can't wait to meet all of you guys in the future.
Thank you.